The apocalypse arrived. Zombies roam, while others search through the rubble. I opened a 24-hour convenience store. Mineral water sells for 5 grams of gold, antibiotics for 50 grams, a silent non-stick pan for 500 grams. Everyone said I was crazy, until I used a serum to save a girl who had been bitten. The city's madmen started coming for me, to end up searching for gold. Meanwhile, a man in a white suit smiled on the radio. "Store owner, the order you're selling has disrupted my game of evolution." At that moment, I was wearing noise-canceling headphones, cleaning a spot on the counter, pretending not to see the zombie horde 10 centimeters from my nose. How annoying. I took off the headphones. I looked at the smudge on the glass with the annoyance of someone with obsessive-compulsive disorder. I just cleaned this window yesterday. You people have no sense of public hygiene. Then, I pulled an unlabeled blue spray bottle from under the counter, aimed it at the door, and pressed the nozzle firmly. A light blue mist passed through the glass, and the crazed zombie horde was stunned. Then, as if they had met their natural predator, they fled in terror in all directions, within a 10-meter radius in front of the door. The area was empty in an instant. The system announced, "Repellent cleaning solution, trial version, used successfully. Inventory consumed. 1, remaining, 99. Just then, a faint, trembling sound came from the door. The automatic door opened again, and a man covered in mud crawled in. Under his tattered suit, his left arm was gone. "Help! Save me!" His face was pale, and with his last bit of strength, he dragged himself to the counter, his bloodshot eyes fixed on the hot sausages in the display case. Food. Water. He reached out his dirty hand to grab my pants. I took a step back, dodging him precisely, and said in a businesslike tone, "Welcome. The store doesn't offer credit. If you dirty the floor, you'll have to pay a cleaning fee." The man was stunned for a moment, then frantically searched his pockets. "I have money." He pulled out a soaked leather wallet, took a handful of mud-covered bills, and slapped them on the counter. "110,000. It's all for you. Give me water and painkillers." I looked at the bills as if they were scrap paper. "Sorry, the store doesn't accept trash. You should know the current exchange rate." Then, I pointed to the electronic screen above the counter. On it, blood-red text scrolled by. Today's exchange rate. 1 gram of gold equals 1 point. Mineral water, 500 milliliters, 5 points. Beef stew noodles, 10 points. Basic antibiotic, 1 capsule, 50 points. The man's pupils contracted, and he suddenly ripped the gold chain from his neck. "This'll work." I took the gold chain and placed it on the electronic scale. A red light flashed. 24-karat gold, 52 grams, minus 10%. Commission, that comes to 46.8 points. Minus 5 points for the cleaning fee, your available balance is 41.8 points. "I want water and the medicine," he roared. I turned around and took a bottle of mineral water, and from a locked box, I took out a red capsule. "Water, 5 points. Adrenaline emergency capsule, 35 points. You have 1.8 points left. I suggest you buy a sausage." I passed the scanner over the gold chain. It turned into a ray of golden light that entered the cash register. Transaction complete. The man snatched the capsule, popped it into his mouth, and gulped down the mineral water. The bleeding from his amputated arm stopped instantly. He opened the sausage and devoured it. "This is a miracle. You are..." "What?" I put my headphones back on, cleaning the dirty counter. "I'm just a cashier. Call me Sumu. Lunchtime is over. The next customer is about to arrive." The man turned and saw the zombies gathered outside the glass again. Behind them were a few armed survivors, with a look fiercer than the zombies. The rain had stopped, but the smell of blood in the air was even thicker. The one-armed man, named Guangcheng, didn't dare stay in the store. He had barely run 50 meters when several shadows tackled him. The leader was a bald guy with a scar on his face named Dao Ge, the local thug boss. He licked the grease from the sausage wrapper, his greedy gaze fixed on the store. "Brothers, come with me. $0 shopping if the owner doesn't cooperate. Chop him into pieces for the zombies." 7 or 8 burly men with weapons, covered in blood, entered the store. The door chimed. Without looking up, I kept cleaning the counter. "Gentlemen, when entering the store, please wipe your feet. The mat is at the entrance." Dao Ge kicked over a shelf and potato chips scattered across the floor. He stomped on the chips and slammed a machete on the counter. "Wipe my feet." My ass get out all the food, cigarettes, and alcohol. The music kept playing. I stopped what I was doing. I raised my head and looked at him calmly. Damaged potato chips, 15 points. Repair for counter scratches, 50 points. Insulting staff, compensation for emotional distress, 100 points. Total, 165 points. For now, we only accept gold. How would you like to pay? The group fell silent, then burst into laughter. Dao Ge grabbed me by the collar of my shirt, his breath foul. It hit me in the face. Kid, you see this knife in my hand? You think I want mince you for the zombies? He lifted me off the ground by my collar. My face was expressionless, and I said into the air, System, activate level 1 violation, threat of violence against staff. Warning, violent behavior detected. Level 1 violation, executing protocol, physical expulsion. A cold mechanical voice resonated in everyone's mind. The ceiling lamps flipped over, revealing small turbines. A hum, and a terrible, invisible gravitational force fell upon them. Daoge fell to his knees, his kneecaps shattering as he screamed in pain. His henchmen were crushed to the floor, feeling as if their organs would be expelled and their weapons deformed. I adjusted my wrinkled collar and, scanner in hand, approached Daoge. I told you, violence is not allowed in this store. I crouched down and scanned his terrified face. According to Rule 3, thieves will have all valuables confiscated and will be blacklisted. From his pocket, I pulled out a gold ring, 2 gold teeth, and also a Rolex. Gold rings, 4. Gold teeth, 8. The watch contains no gold, not accepted. Successful recovery, 165 points deducted. 30 points of debt remain. I'll forgive it this time. I stood up and snapped my fingers. Get them out. The gravitational force instantly turned into a repulsive force. Dao Ge and his men were shot out like cannonballs. Outside the door, they fell spectacularly onto the muddy path. The glass door closed, and a small wooden sign on it swayed. Hours. 24 hours, except during cleaning. I took the broom to sweep up the chips. Wasting food is a shame. Outside, Dao Ge, with broken legs, writhed in the mud. In the darkness, countless blue zombie eyes glowed. He pounded desperately on the glass, but it was useless. I went back to the counter and opened a package of beef stew noodles. I poured hot water, and the steam clouded my face. The next morning, the sky was clear. The bloodstains in front of the store had been cleaned by the system. Only a few skeletons gnawed by zombies remained in the distance. I sat on a high stool, playing with the scanner, looking at the system's control panel. Store level, LV1, order points gold, 58. To level up, 1,000 points to unlock the F-level special item section. Barely 58 points. This generation of survivors is terrible, I grimaced. The store door opened again, and a girl in combat gear entered. She carried a huge hiking backpack, a fire axe in her hand, and a cautious look. Seeing the merchandise on the shelves, she was stunned. Her name was Su Zhaizhai. She was a talented sports student. The apocalypse broke out while she was at school. Owner, I heard you accept gold here. Who told you? A man with a broken arm gave me the address. Before he died, I nodded. It seems Wang Qiang didn't make it. Su Zhaizhai unzipped her backpack, which was full of gold bracelets, necklaces, earrings, and small ingots. I cleared out the jewelry store near the school, thinking this might be useful. My eyes lit up instantly, and I took out the electronic scale. I'll take it all. I want to exchange it for food and weapons. The edge of this axe is already dull. 3,500 grams of gold, minus commission. You have 3,150 points. You've become a VIP customer of the store. How many instant noodles can I buy? Instant noodles? Don't underestimate your wealth. I turned around and, from the deepest shelf, took out a long black box. F-level item, silent non-stick pan. Price, 500 points. I opened the box. Inside was a pan identical to one from a cartoon. I banged it against the counter, but it made no sound. Absolute silence. Hitting a zombie's skull also makes no noise. In a horde of zombies with sharp hearing, this means assassination. Su Zhaizhai's eyes widened. I took out another bottle with a dark, moss-green liquid. F-level item. Camouflage spray. 800 points. Spray it on yourself and it will emit the stench of a corpse. Common zombies won't attack you. Effective for 30 minutes. The side effect is that the smell doesn't wash off. I want it all. I smiled and scanned the barcodes. Member, 1,300 points. Need anything else? The store just got some unbreakable stockings, with defense comparable to a bulletproof vest. Not that, thanks. Su Zhaizhai blushed. Give me a case of Coca-Cola, a cold one. Just as the transaction was about to be completed, the roar of an engine echoed outside. A heavy, modified off-road vehicle. It braked sharply, the door opened, and a man in tactical armor, sunglasses, and with an automatic rifle in his hand got out, followed by 4 mercenaries. The leader of the largest survivor base in the area, Shen Jiang, took off his sunglasses. Looking at the pan in Su Zhaizhai's hands, his eyes gleamed. "Girl, leave the gold in the pan and get out." Su Zhaizhai froze. I put the case of Coke on the floor. "Looks like today's sales will exceed the target." I pressed a red button under the counter. The 4 security cameras in the corners opened up, revealing silver metallic tubes. A pale blue light barrier covered the counter area. Shen Jiang pulled the trigger by instinct. Rat-tat-tat-tat! The sound of gunfire echoed, but when the bullets hit the light barrier, they were like stones in a pond, melting into a dripping golden liquid. What kind of sorcery is this? "Open your eyes. This is technology," I said through the barrier. "System, initiate level C defense protocol. Disarm and punish." The 4 metallic tubes fired red laser beams, precisely hitting their weapons. Shen Jiang and his men screamed in pain, dropping their guns. Those rifles instantly became a pile of twisted scrap metal. "You damaged the floor tiles. You maliciously attacked the staff." I took a calculator. "The rifles will be charged at scrap metal price. Each of you leaves a finger. Or pay a ransom of 500 points. Shen Jiang suddenly calmed down, his gaze turning shrewd. "I'll pay." He tore off his gold chain, his rings, and then ordered his men to hand over all their gold. "This isn't just for compensation. The rest is to buy something to make us stronger." I deactivated the barrier and, after scanning everything, said, "There's some left over. 4,200 points. You want to buy Su Zhaizhai's pan? It's sold out. I recommend this." I took out a green can with a picture of spinach on it. F level. Consumable item. Popeye the Sailor's spinach can. Simplified version. 1,000 points per can. When you eat it, for 10 minutes your strength doubles, pain disappears, and your skin becomes hard as steel. "Give me 4 cans. Shen Jiang's breathing became heavy. Transaction complete. As he was about to leave, he said, "Owner, all the gold in this area will soon be mine. Keep your merchandise safe." I made a farewell gesture. When he left, I looked at Su Zhaizhai and said, "The store's business is getting better and better. I'm too busy, and you have no home to go back to. So I'm offering you a job. Stalker and security guard. Food and lodging included. Salary of 10 points a day. Do you accept?" Su Zhaizhai looked at the night and the zombies outside, her eyes about to fill with tears. "I accept, boss. I'll do it. First, clean up these chips. My OCD doesn't like things crooked." I put on my headphones. The Apocalypse convenience store, open for business. For the past 2 days, the rumor that you could get supplies with gold had spread like wildfire among the survivors, until Shen Jiang's subordinate swallowed the can of spinach in the middle of a zombie horde and tore apart 3 mutant zombies with his bare hands. Everyone went crazy. Gold, once discarded as trash, had now become the ticket to paradise. Early in the morning, a long line of people was waiting outside the store. Su Zhaizhai, in an employee uniform, kept order with her silent pan in hand. "Line up, no pushing. Hey you, the bald one, take a step back." In the line were all kinds of people, common survivors, thugs, doctors. But upon entering the store, they all became docile. A few corpses were hanging from the lamppost at the entrance. They were the ones who tried to pick the lock to rob the place last night and were electrocuted by the high-voltage system. I was incredibly busy. Gold watch, minus impurities, 12 points. Gold teeth, good purity, 8 points. Gold ingot, 300 points. The scanner's VIP, VIP, VIP beeped endlessly as gold turned into rays of light entering the cash register. The numbers on the system panel were skyrocketing. Order points, 890 out of 1,000. Just then, a haggard woman carrying a girl of about 7 or 8 pushed her way to the front of the counter. The girl's arm had a scratch, the wound had turned black and was festering. Seeing this, the people around her immediately scattered. The woman, crying, took out a pair of gold bracelets with dragons and phoenixes and a gold locket. "This was my daughter's first-month gift. I'm begging you, save her." The system scan shows the virus has entered her lymphatic system. In 2 hours, she will fully mutate. "Common medicine can't save her," I said, turning to point to a special shelf. Earth-level products. Zombie virus blocker serum, to be used within 4 hours of infection. 500 points. I put the refined gold on the scale, a total of 120 grams, equivalent to 108 points, still far short. The woman collapsed in despair. At that moment, Shen Jiang walked in with a cigar in his mouth. followed by his henchmen with backpacks full of gold. He placed a gold ingot on the counter. "They'll pay her debt. Tell her to go to my base and do laundry to pay it off. The 500-gram ingot is worth 450 points." Added to the previous 108 points, it was enough. I took a blue syringe and tossed it to the woman. Straight to the heart. Takes 10 seconds to work. The woman, trembling, injected her daughter. In the chest, the black veins on the girl's arm faded, her breathing stabilized. All the people present looked at me with reverent fear. "Owner, don't worry about minor customers. I have a big deal for you." His henchman emptied more than 10 kilos of gold. "I want to buy a large number of weapons. I heard you have guns with infinite ammo here. Congratulations." Order points have exceeded 1,000. The shop levels up to level 2, unlocking the second floor living area and the Class C combat items area. The defense range expands to 50 meters. He cracked a smile, taking a silver pistol from a Class C shelf. A Class C item, the pistol. The Infinite Gambler, unlimited ammo, guaranteed to jam every 6 shots. It punishes the user with a light electric shock. Do you dare to gamble? Shen Yan's eyes shone with fervor. I love to gamble. After the upgrade, the store doubled in size with shelves and an eating area. But a problem arose. There wasn't enough gold anymore. The nearby jewelry store was emptied by Chen Yang, and the jewelry from residential areas was also looted. That day, there were noticeably fewer customers in the store. Someone offered a pair of gold-plated reading glasses. "Owner, can I trade these for a steamed bun?" Gold content, 0.01 grams. The system does not recognize it. System, the gold has run out. What should I do? Gold is the condensation of the old world's order and also the only currency for the zombie virus. If the surface gold is depleted, guide survivors to explore the gold vaults of banks, museums, or eliminate mutated gold-type zombies to obtain refined or mutated gold. As I was wondering what to do, Su Zai ran in, out of breath. "Stained with blood, owner. There's a golden zombie outside." I approached the glass door. The midday light was blinding. At the end of the street, a 2.5-meter-tall zombie was slowly approaching, with bulging muscles, dark yellow skin, and half a molten gold ingot embedded in its chest. Common zombies moved out of its way. Alert, a special mutation has been detected, the Gold Devourer. LV5, it contains a high-purity order gold element in its body. Eliminating it will drop high-purity biological gold. 5,000 points. 5,000 points, my eyes lit up. At that moment, Shen Yan's convoy arrived. He raised the Infinite Gambler and fired, but the bullets only sparked off the Gold Devourer's chest. The enraged Gold Devourer charged like a tank. Chen Yang shouted, "Run, it's impenetrable," but I didn't run. Somehow, a megaphone appeared in my hand. Urgent bounty mission, eliminate the Gold Devourer, bring its essence to the shop. The reward is a Class C genetic strengthening serum, like Captain America's, and a lifetime VIP skip-the-line card. This sentence drove everyone crazy. Shen Jiang stopped, his eyes gleaming with a wild light. Fortune favors the bold. Get him. A hunt broke out in front of the shop. I pulled out a chair to sit behind the door, drinking hot tea while watching the show. Let them fight, the house always wins. To get revenge, Tai Niu, Shen Yang's henchman, swallowed a can of spinach. His muscles swelled, his skin turned dark green. He ripped out a fire hydrant and threw it at the back of the Gold Devourer's neck. Sparks flew, but the Gold Devourer was unharmed. The Gold Devourer turned, and its palm, hard as a blade, swept through the air. Tai Niu was cut at the waist, his upper body flying more than 10 meters. Shen Yang, gritting his teeth, fired 5 times, the bullets hitting the gold ingot on the Devourer's chest, knocking it back 3 steps as golden blood spurted out. He pulled the trigger for the 6th time. Click. A blue current ran through his body. He convulsed sharply and fell to the ground. System notification. The Infinite Gambler activated its negative effect. User paralyzed for 30 seconds. I couldn't help but spit out my tea laughing. The Gold Devourer was enraged again, charging at the crowd. Swords and knives chipped against its body. Fire only smoked its skin. It grabbed a survivor and shoved him into its mouth. The crunch of bones was clearly heard. Just as everyone was about to give up, Su Zai leaped from an abandoned car into the air, holding the adhesive pan of silence with both hands. Using gravity, she slammed it onto the Gold Devourer's head. There was no sound. All the kinetic energy converted into physical shockwaves, pouring into the Gold Devourer's skull. Its movements froze, its golden pupils popped out of their sockets, its huge body fell to the ground. The scene went completely silent. Everyone stared at Su Zai Zai and the pan in her hand. I walked out of the store clapping, with a look of approval. Well done. Physics is still useful in the apocalypse. I passed the scanner over the corpse's chest. A golden light entered the device. High-purity order essence successfully recovered. I took out a dark blue test tube and threw it to Su Zai Zai. Class C Genetic Strengthening Serum. Drink it, and you'll be able to lift a motorcycle with one hand. Shen Yang recovered from the paralysis, his eyes as red as a rabbit's, but he didn't dare do anything. Boss. That pan, no matter how much it costs, I'll buy it if you ever have another one. After the Gold Devourer incident, the apocalyptic shop became a legend. Su Zai Zai drank the serum and bent a steel bar with her hands, becoming the security captain. No one dared to cause trouble again. I looked at the system panel. Shop level, 5800, 1000. Obtained, gold conversion core fragment unlocked. Vending machine branch prototype. The vending machine comes with a Class B defensive shield and a self-destruct program. Violent sabotage will cause a 20-meter explosion of plasma. Cruel enough. I already had an expansion plan. The shop now had combos for common people. Single-use zombie trap mine, 50 points. Plays Little Apple to attract zombies and then explodes. Chive-flavored compressed biscuit, 10 points. Sates hunger for 3 days. Side effect, the urge to argue. That afternoon, a convoy of military green jeeps stopped in front of the shop. More than 10 soldiers spread out to secure the perimeter. A one-eyed, middle-aged man entered, with old-world military insignia on his shoulder. Captain Lei. Su Zai Zai stopped him. Captain Lei didn't get angry, he just quietly got in at the end of the line. When it was his turn, he took out a black card and placed it on the counter, the access card to the Central Federal Bank's gold vault. And the password. There are at least 3 tons of gold inside. I want a large quantity of weapons to kill those madmen in the prison to the north. They use survivors as zombie bait. I took the black card and scanned it. Verification successful. Estimated gold, 3.5 tons. Deal? The condition? I asked. The gold on this card, I want you to collect it yourself. I'm not responsible for transport, the one-eyed man, Shen, said. In exchange, for all this equipment on the wall, I want to take half. Deal. I snapped my fingers. Immediately, the wall opened, revealing a military area. Infinite ammo Gatling gun. Trial version with 5,000 rounds. Holy attribute fragmentation grenade. Civilian-grade personal exoskeleton. Captain Lee's single eye instantly gleamed. It was the instinctive reaction of a soldier seeing good weapons. With this deal, not only did I get 3 tons of gold, but I could also conveniently install the vending machine. In the city center. After seeing Captain Lei off, the store's inventory was cut in half, but in exchange for huge future profits. It was late. I turned off the open sign and hung up the collecting sign. I was organizing the profits. Su Zai Zai sat on the counter eating instant noodles. Owner, are you really going downtown? There is a sea of mutated zombies. Fortune favors the bold. I cleaned my scanner. Besides, I've always felt that the system's gold collection hides some secret. The appearance of the Gold Devourer was too much of a coincidence. Suddenly, I felt a chill down my spine, as if a venomous snake were watching me. System, scan the surroundings. No hostile targets within a 50-meter radius. No, it's not close. I went outside the store, looking towards an abandoned office building 2 kilometers away. On the rooftop, I saw a faint glint that flashed and disappeared. It was the reflection from high-powered binoculars, 2 kilometers away. On the rooftop of the Imperial building, a man in a white suit lowered his binoculars. Beside him was a beast resembling a black panther, covered in black scales. He took a sip of red wine. The power of order has been resurrected here. He stroked the beast's head. Xiao Hei, that thing in the shop is interfering with the spread of the virus. Captain Lei thinks buying weapons will give him victory. Gold is the food God gave us. How can it be traded? He stood up and gave the order. Divert the horde. Target, the shop. Awaken the glutton in the city's gold vault, in the shop. I sneezed sharply. Su Zai Zai poked her head out. Owner, what's wrong? Nothing. I just feel like something big is about to happen. I looked at the dark night sky. Black clouds were gathering. Get ready. Tomorrow morning, we're going downtown. Otherwise, we might miss the chance to install the vending machine. I closed the glass door. The tinkling of the wind chime echoed in the night. Early in the morning, I was standing outside the shop. In the heavy truck behind me was the vending machine. Su Zai Zai sat in the passenger seat, sucking on a bravery lollipop to calm her nerves. 5 points. Captain Lee's convoy was in the lead. We had barely gone 2 kilometers when the main road was blocked by a dense horde of zombies. They were like an army forming a wall of flesh. "Someone is commanding them," Captain Lee's voice came over the radio. I took out an old radio-like device, a Class D item. Moses traffic radio. Emits high-frequency waves, repels zombies within a 500-meter radius for 5 minutes. Side effect is a saw-like sound that causes irreversible mental pollution in humans. "Everyone, cover your ears," I said over the radio, and then sharply pressed the switch. A noise, deafening, came from the speaker on the vehicle's roof. The zombie horde, like wastewater before a dam, frantically dispersed to the sides, opening a 5-meter-wide corridor. The convoy seized the opportunity to rush towards the city center. And before the horde could close in, we entered the financial plaza where the Federal Bank was located. We brought the vending machine to the bank entrance. Removing the tarp, a silver machine with a sci-fi feel was revealed. "Branch vending machine number 1, not activated, needs 1 kilo of gold to start. Captain Lei, your turn?" I pointed to the machine's slot. Captain Lei, without saying much, took a gold ingot and inserted it. Immediately, the machine lit up. "Branch successfully activated. Defense system initiated. A pale blue light shield deployed, covering the bank entrance." At that moment, a deep roar came from inside the bank. The ground trembled slightly. "Seems the host isn't welcoming us." I narrowed my eyes at the deep darkness of the lobby. With another roar, the bank's bulletproof glass shattered. An obese monster broke through. Its belly was like a hot air balloon, skinless, with dark red muscles. Its mouth took up 3/4 of its face, filled with spiral teeth. Metal fragments were visible in its transparent abdomen. Alert! Mutation encountered, the glutton. LV2, characteristics, swallows metal to convert it into armor, craves gold. Weakness, the inside, fire. Captain Lei raised his Gatling gun. A hail of bullets headed for the glutton. It felt it, but it opened its huge mouth and absorbed all the bullets, chewing them to dust. The red light in its abdomen intensified. The glutton fixed its target on the vending machine and charged like a mountain of flesh. "Su Zai Zai!" she shouted. "Owner! It wants to eat the branch!" I calmly operated the vending machine screen, putting a Class C trap up for sale. Lavoro's Last Supper, a 0.1 high-concentration antimatter compression bomb, disguised as a gold ingot. When digested by stomach acid, it will create a micro-black hole. Su Zai Zai inserted a gold earring, took the ingot that came out, and threw it with all her might into the glutton's mouth. 3 seconds later, the glutton's abdomen contracted violently. Right. The red turned black. It writhed in pain, its body collapsed inward, and finally disappeared with a pop. Only a black pearl was left on the ground. I picked up the pearl. High-concentration mutation crystal detected. Can unlock special functions. Clear the scene. "To the vault," I said directly. Captain Lee's team cleared the bank of common zombies. Finally, we stood before the gigantic alloy door of the underground vault. Captain Lee swiped the black card, entered the password. The door slowly opened. Gold bars and coins stacked like mountains shone with a golden light. Large amount of order matter detected. Initiating collection. I raised the scanner and activated the area scan mode. The gold ingots turned into streams of golden light, flowing into my system interface. Points. Plus 10,000, plus 20,000. The shop levels up to level 3, unlocking central authority, regional order restructuring. When the last piece of gold disappeared, an ancient voice echoed in my mind. Finally, enough energy has been gathered for startup. Who? I spun around abruptly. It seemed Captain Lei. And Su Zai Zai hadn't heard it. I am the system's previous host, the designer of the world's firewall, the voice resonated. The zombie virus is the chaos from the source code's collapse. They are data. Gold carries humanity's consensus of value, so collecting gold is extracting the power of order to repair. The original source code of the collapsing world. They are all rules written with the power of order. The repair will guide the evolution of the virus, which wants to reformat the world. Be careful of the man in the white suit. That man is the virus administrator. The voice suddenly stopped. System reboot complete. Global filter is active. The branch can be upgraded to a war fortress. As I came to, my back was soaked in cold sweat. Just then, the ground shook violently, and Suhui's scream came over the radio. Captain Lei, boss, this isn't good. Quick, let's go. All the zombies in the city are coming this way. The vending machine's shield is about to give out. I ran out of the vault and saw the financial plaza submerged in a sea of the undead. At the top of the Empire building, a red beam of light fixed its target on the bank. Looks like he doesn't want us to take the order. I gripped the scanner gun tightly. System, consume 100,000 accumulated points. Activate War Fortress mode. Accumulated points consumed, 100,000. War Fortress mode. Activated. The vending machine let out a roar. Metal plates folded and unfolded, transforming in 5 seconds into a 5-meter-high, 10-meter-wide steel arc-shaped fortress. On top of the fortress, 4 double-barreled automatic cannons emerged, the sides filled with launch ports, and the center still retained the coin slot and touchscreen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my temporary branch. I stood at the command post with a hot cup of coffee in my hand. This is now the most fortified place in the city. The zombie horde, like a dark tsunami, crashed against the shield. The zombies sizzled as they were incinerated by the light barrier, but they kept advancing relentlessly. Captain Lei, boss, there's not enough ammunition. Suzai shouted, sending a liquor flying with a frying pan. If we run out of ammo, buy more. I pointed to the touchscreen. Soldiers, promotions, golden zombie brains, anything is possible. Reload. The ammunition reloaded automatically. Captain Lei grabbed a mutant zombie, tore out its golden brain, and threw it into the slot. The Gatling's magazine was replenished at the same time. On top of the Empire building, the man in the white suit watched the scene, crushing a red wine glass in his hand. Using the power of order to fight chaos, he smiled coldly. His gaze was malevolent. Interesting, but do you really think money can buy a god? Tyrant, go! At his command, the earth behind the zombie horde cracked open. 3 giant, 10-meter-tall monsters rose up, stitched together from countless corpses, with tank cannons for arms. On their heads, they wore signal-receiving devices. Alert, construction-class biological weapon detected. Tyrant, quantity, 3. 3 poison gas shells hit the shield. The light dimmed by half. Alert, the shield will be destroyed in the next volley. I put down my coffee cup and looked at the gold that had not yet been converted in the vault. Several tons of gold. It seems I can't stick to small business anymore. Then, let's go all in. I inserted the black card with the data for 3.5 tons of gold into the core slot. System, all in. Purchasing item, Divine Punishment, single-use version. Transaction confirmed, subtracting 3,500,000 order points. Divine Punishment patch. Just then, the sky tore open into a colossal fissure. A golden pillar of light, a kilometer wide, descended, covering the financial plaza in the middle of the light pillar. The tyrants' bodies began to crumble and erode. All the zombies disintegrated into fragments of green code. In the distance, atop the Empire building, the man in the white suit let out a heart-wrenching scream. Half of his body digitized and vanished, leaving only an arm and half a head as he struggled to escape through a sewer. 10 seconds later, the golden light dissipated, leaving the square empty. Only the smoldering war fortress remained, with Captain Lei and Suzai stunned. I was slumped in the chair, pale, but my gaze was still arrogant. This is what you call the privilege of pay to win. This battle became known as the Battle of Dawn. I used 3.5 tons of gold in exchange for temporary peace for the city. Within a 10-kilometer radius, no zombie dared to approach. 3 days later, the convenience store was upgraded to an apocalypse shopping mall. The first floor was the popular zone, the second was the premium zone, the third floor was the military zone, and the rooftop was my private office. Suzai, dressed in a carbon fiber combat suit, directed the survivors who were transporting goods. She had become the boss here. I sat in front of the large window, watching the people rebuild order below. The system panel showed, store level, Platamax, preparing. Gold, inventory, 0. Next mission, open a chain of instant noodle shops. Boss, Captain Lei wants to reserve an exosuit. He's asking if he can pay in installments. Suzai entered, pushing the door open, holding a report. No installments. I turned to look at Suzai and told her for him, outside the city, there are dozens of unopened vaults from other cities. If he wants to get stronger, he can go to work. Oh, by the way, we didn't find the guy in the white suit, just a piece of paper in the sewer. I smiled, raised my gold-colored upgraded scanner gun, and aimed at the empty air and fired. No matter how the version is updated, the rule that paying makes you stronger will never change. I hung up a sign that glowed under the sunset, Apocalypse Convenience Store. Today's inventory, complete. We open tomorrow, as usual. Welcome. End of inventory. A month later, I hadn't been idle in the core area on the rooftop. The system was devouring gold to build a blue, vortex-shaped light portal. Outside, the progress of restoring order. 99.9%. The Interworld Store chain system, beta version, is about to launch. Boss, you've been staring at that front-loading washing machine for 3 hours. Suzazai came in with a plate of fruit. This is the elevator to a new market. A spark of ambition shone in my eyes. Not the city next door, but another universe. Just as Suzazai was about to reply, the light portal shook violently. A terrifying pressure with the smell of blood erupted from it. The sirens blared. Alert, unauthorized intrusion detected. Energy level, cultivator, peak of foundation establishment. Carries a high-purity spirit stone, convertible to order points. Hearing spirit stone, my eyes lit up. Prepare a welcome. From the portal, a bloody hand grabbed onto the carpet, and a young man in a tattered Taoist robe, carrying a broken sword, rolled out. His body was covered in scars, with a long black burn on his chest. He looked at us with suspicion. Where is this? The ghostly realm of the underworld? Suzazai raised her frying pan. Boss, his cosplay is incredibly realistic. Professional. Welcome to the 10,000 Realms convenience store, headquarters number 001. Taoist friend, your countenance has darkened. I'm afraid you're about to die. Our store's 9-turn soul pill and protective talismans can be obtained for just a few spirit stones. The young man looked towards the portal, hesitating, as if something were chasing him. He took out a transparent spirit stone. Save my life, and this superior grade spirit stone will be yours. Detected high purity order crystal, value 1,000. My smile widened. Deal. The wall opened, revealing a section specializing in cultivation technology. Rune Gatling, Ghost Hunting version RPG. Golden Nano Silk Soft Armor. Suzazai, bring him a revenge combo. I looked towards the vibrating portal, my eyes shining with excitement. A new map has opened. I must not only protect the store, but also explore it. System announcement. Second anchor point set, Tianyuan Fantasy Continent. The multi-dimensional jump is about to begin. I took a deep breath. I said to the void, Apocalypse convenience store, end of the first season. Next season, we're going to earn the cultivator's money.